Yo. Let's get right into it, y'all. I'll probably have enough time to do one, maybe two videos. Maybe two. Okay, I think it's on my bed. Oh, there it is. I'll look for my phone. Anyways, get right into it. Here we go. I'll load my devices up on the outside. We gotta get straight to it.
It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE star suffers a horrific injury, a huge change had to be made to a Raw match, WWE spoiled a major return, Bray Wyatt's son pays tribute to his dad, an all-women's show coming to WWE, Dustin Rhodes shares a huge milestone, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Logan Paul versus Gunther. A Raw kicked off with a promo segment between Logan Paul and Gunther. It was nice to see Paul interact with a heel on the show, and whilst it's highly unlikely that Paul versus Gunther is the world title match on Raw in 3 weeks, it would certainly make for a fascinating dynamic. Now, credit where credit is due, Paul is slowly improving in the promo department, however he certainly needs to flesh out his character as there continues to be a lack of substance there. 99% of the time it's, I'm a megastar and you're poor, blah blah blah. Number 2, the crowd. It was often been said that a good wrestling crowd can elevate a wrestling show, and this was the case with Raw last night. The crowd were pretty much into everything on the show last night, and the crowd in Greenville certainly deserves a ton of praise for bringing the noise. Number 3, Penta and AJ team up. Now, although Raw is shorter than SmackDown, key wrestling matches on the show still managed to get appropriate time. On Raw last night, Penta and AJ Styles vs the Judgment Day received around 17 minutes of TV time. This allowed the match to breathe and for all 4 men to deliver a special TV match that fans absolutely loved. We also love Penta and AJ matching their ring attires. But the finish saw El Grande Americano yet again make his presence felt, and the WWE continues to be adamant on making the character a prominent fixture on television. Number 4, Roxanne advances. Roxanne Perez is now officially on the Raw brand, and she was put straight into the Money in the Bank qualifiers on Raw last night. The first qualifier saw Roxanne Perez secure a huge win over Natalya and Becky Lynch. It's great to see WWE giving Perez a healthy push on the main roster, and it makes sense to put the young star in the Money in the Bank ladder match next month. And Austin Theory is over? It looks like the crowd is finally ready to see Austin Theory in the babyface role. During the Grayson Waller vs Sheamus matchup, the crowd were heavily chanting for Theory, and even at one point he was surprised that they were chanting for him. But now it looks like it's finally time for WWE to deliver the split between A-Town Down Under and have Austin Theory turn babyface. But that was a good what about the bad, as number 1, Rhea Ripley advances. While Rhea Ripley is still insanely over with the audience, some fans are questioning if WWE needed to put Ripley in the Money in the Bank. Ripley is already established and she certainly doesn't need the briefcase. She defeated a returning Kairi Sane and Zoe Stark on Raw, and it looked like the match ending was improvised after Stark suffered a very brutal injury. Number 2, a formulaic main event finish. WWE unfortunately have the habit of booking the main event of Raw as if it was 1999, with various run-ins and shenanigans. Whilst nobody expected Jey Uso vs Braun Breaker to end in a clean manner, it was disappointing to see WWE use their established formula yet again. It would be a nice change of pace if they had a clean match finish without any hijinks to close out Raw, but Triple H evidently likes to book his shows in this manner. One of the positives of the post-match angle was the reaction to CM Punk, who received one of the biggest ovations of his entire career. The crowd gave Punk an Austin-style pop, and it was great to see that the WWE audience is still firmly behind the former WWE champion. Now, they've gone all in on the Punk and Sami Zayn vs Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker build for this coming weekend, and it has a high chance of stealing the show and being one of the most memorable matches on the 4-match card. And number 3, no Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross continues to be barely featured on television. He's managed to get over on the road to WrestleMania 41, yet despite this and his merchandise selling extremely well, WWE are refusing to put him on television. This is really confusing, as Triple H usually embraces the idea of wrestlers getting over via their own accord, yet with Kross it's almost as if there's a vendetta against him. There was nothing downright ugly on this show, as WWE did a solid job advancing the main storylines ahead of Saturday night's main event this coming weekend, and the Red Brand continues to be WWE's standout show. They've had a difficult job with the past 2 weeks of TV as they needed to build both Saturday night's main event as well as Money in the Bank. And this can get very messy, but to their credit, they've managed to do a solid enough job. What did you guys think of the Red Brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at a WWE star suffering a horrific injury. Now, our top story today takes a look at a truly horrific injury that occurred during Raw last night. During a Money in the Bank qualifying match, Zoe Stark would ascend into the air to perform a missile dropkick on Kairi Sane. Something clearly went wrong as Stark had to scream Sane's name. Upon landing, Stark's knee bent awkwardly and Stark looked to be in serious pain. Her involvement in the match was immediately brought to an end, and Rhea Ripley and Sane would finish the match without her. Stark would be taken out of the match by medical staff, and we're awaiting updates on the status of the WWE star. WWE names across the roster have taken to X to share their warm wishes to Stark, with Ripley leading the charge, mentioning, "Professional wrestling can be very real and dangerous. Tonight continue to prove that anything can happen. Wishing Zoe Stark a speedy recovery." And we want to share our best wishes to Stark, and we hope that the injury isn't too serious for her, as that landing looked incredibly nasty. Next up, a Raw match finish had to be changed. Due to Zoe Stark's knee injury, Rhea Ripley and Kairi Sane were forced to improvise. WWE would have planned out a triple threat match, and Ripley and Sane deserve a ton of credit for carrying on under extremely difficult circumstances. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, the plan wasn't for Sane to be pinned. Sane lost her first match back, which was obviously not the plan. They had no choice and they had to do what they had to do. When wrestling injuries happen, especially in multi-person matches, adaptation is key, and while Sane losing her first match back isn't ideal, it was the only way WWE could bring the match to a definitive close. Next up, WWE spoiled a major return. In just a matter of hours before Raw went live on the air last night, WWE decided to spoil that Kairi Sane would be returning on the show. WWE would spoil the return via X and even announce that Sane would participate in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. This was a bizarre choice, as it would have been great to see a surprise return on the show, as Sane has been a name that fans have been waiting to see back for a number of months. Next up, Bray Wyatt's son pays tribute to his father. This week, the son of the late great Bray Wyatt celebrated his 6th birthday, and he had one request. He wanted to dress up like his legendary father. Jason Baker, who created the iconic Fiend mask for Wyatt, took to X to state that he created a custom mask for Wyatt's son. I had the honor of doing something that is so close to my heart that I'm still fighting back tears while writing this. I got a call from JoJo wanting to fulfill Nash's birthday wish, which was to dress up like his dad for his birthday party. Needless to say, Sandy Mimpson and I dropped everything to make this happen for such an incredible little man. We love you, Nash, and hope you had the best birthday ever. Mask from Bray's original mold, costume by Sandy Mimpson based on the original Fiend gear created by Kayla Custom Rockwear. Now the only thing left to do is let him in. Baker would even post photos of Wyatt's son in the mask along with Uncle Bo Dallas, and Baker did an incredible job with this extra special assignment. What a truly wholesome moment. Next up, WWE firing on all cylinders. The WWE's recent tour of Europe was a monumental success. According to the industry trade publication Polster, the events in March 2025 grossed over more than $13 million. WWE had events all over Europe, including Belgium and London, and this type of financial success definitely indicates that WWE will make these international broadcasts commonplace in the coming years. Whilst WWE and TKO will be delighted with these financial results, fans are already taking issue. WWE would have known about these results before their recent budget cuts, so to make budget cuts whilst delivering substantial business is certainly a controversial move. TKO is evidently a company that solely cares about dollars and cents, and unfortunately, releases and cuts, even when the company is thriving, are gonna occur virtually every single year. Next up, Dustin Rhodes shares a huge milestone. Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust, has taken to X to share a huge life milestone. The current AEW star has now been sober for 17 years. Huge day for me. Thank you, God, for saving me from drugs and alcohol. Happy 17th birthday to me. Rhodes' story is well documented, and he's managed to successfully turn his life around. Congratulations to Rhodes on such a significant milestone. Next up, an all-women's show coming to WWE. It's expected that WWE will bring back the Evolution event this summer, but according to WWE star Natalya, there's no reason why WWE couldn't deliver a weekly all-women show similar to Raw or SmackDown. I think that I would love to see an all-women's pay-per-view, but I would love to see an all-women's show. I think we can do that in WWE. When you look at the Raw women's roster, the SmackDown women's roster, and the NXT women's roster, and the women coming in from the ID program and Evolve, all these different shows, there's so many talented women in WWE family alone that there's no reason we couldn't do a 1 to 2 hour show. And the interesting thing about this is that the initial pitch for SmackDown in 1999 was something similar. WWE intended the Blue Brand to be an all-women show, but obviously they changed their minds. Natalya made a strong argument, and it's somewhat of a surprise that this isn't something that WWE have piloted before. And finally, the Saturday night's main event card has been finalized. Our final story today takes a look at the latest when it comes to Saturday night's main event card. On Raw last night, WWE confirmed what appeared to be the final match card, and no additional matches have been added. Unless a match is added on SmackDown just 24 hours before the show, then just 4 matches will take place on the card. WWE have confirmed that the world title will main event the broadcast with Jey Uso defending against Logan Paul. Other matches include WWE Champion John Cena vs R-Truth in a non-title contest, Drew McIntyre vs Damian Priest in a steel cage match, and finally a tag team showdown between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker vs CM Punk and Sami Zayn. But there you have it folks, our look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.